Hi everyone! Oh, not everyone today. No one's jumped on yet. But I shall carry on. I'm just making the envelopes up. Um, this is a Flower Fairy journal. You remember the last time we were doing Peter Rabbit? And I just want to get... I'm doing the two at the same time, sort of. I'm doing the Beatrix Potter one, and I'm doing the Flower Fairy one, and they're both going to be ostensibly the same sort of elements in it. Just one obviously going to be fairies and one Peter Rabbit and Friends. So this is what we were doing last time, the Peter Rabbit bit. I haven't got this decorated yet. Hi Regina, hi Deborah, hi Flo, thanks for joining, and thank you I guess to Sarah and Olivia and so what else, whose name I've forgotten, who can't get onto live chat for some reason. I don't know why that is. It's a shame, isn't it? Anyway, I was just saying this is what we did, or what I've continued to do from last time. This needs finishing, but I just don't know what to put on it yet, so I'm leaving that for the time being. And it flips out to this page, which has got these three what look like little pockets in them. And that flips out again, and now we've got Peter Rabbit. Look, he's gigantic. He's gigantic size Peter Rabbit. And what goes right down through the middle of him is this tag. Well, journaling card stroke tag. And it then allows you to flip these out separately so you can reveal Peter Rabbit bit by bit. That sounds quite funny, really. It's a really good, fun element. And then underneath that, I don't think we got this done last time. Short of watching the video, I couldn't remember where we were at. So this is just a DL envelope that I've stuck together and cut these V shapes out of. And I've put little journaling cards. I've sewn across the middle. So we've got one journaling card at the top part and one journaling card at the bottom. Like that. Now the fun starts because you've got to get this tag back through here. And it's kind of not the easiest. It sort of doesn't really want to go. Find if I squash that end. I've got to come up with an easier way of getting this in here, but I'm not sure what it is yet. That's it. And so I haven't made these into pockets yet. That's it. Because I find it helps with putting that big tag back in if you can actually open them up when you do it. So there we are. So that's that. Had we done these? I can't remember. Two pockets, two little cards in them. They're so cute, aren't they? Bit of lace down here. Opens up. Side pocket. Two journaling cards. Good size. Sewn around those. And I've got the pockets in, which I think might be where I left you last time. I was just putting the pockets in, and that flips up. Lots and lots of flips and stuff. And this is an acetate window with a big journal tag in there. So that's kind of what we're aiming to get to today with the Flower Fairies. Flower Fairies aren't quite so easy because they don't have these lovely images. There's just sort of one image, which is the Flower Fairy in the book, in various guises, but it's the same image all the time. So I've had to, stuck an image on there as well. I don't know if I'd done that last time or not. And a little image on there as well. And a bow on the top because it looked pretty, why not? So that's that. So we're aiming to get to there today. But like I say, I'm short of images, so I've actually had to introduce some actual marigolds because it was just too samey. So this is the flip that's going to have the envelopes and the acetate window on it. And this is the back page that you'll recognise from the back page of the Peter Rabbit one with a big tag in it. And I've had to put a marigold, an actual marigold on there. And this little tag here, which I just did just before we came on live, and I've put it off center, and it's going to drive me crazy. So I'm actually going to have to make another one of these because I can't let that go like that. It's just wrong. It's wrong. It's an accident, and it's not a happy one because it just means we've got to scrap that and do it again. And this little pocket, which was an image. If you are tempted to go and use images that aren't yours or you don't own in your junk journals, don't just go to Google and search daffodil or whatever and then just copy the image and print it out. You need to make sure that that image is copyright free, because believe me, there will be somebody around who knows. And if you've got all your journal made and then you put it on Etsy and somebody looks at it and says, oh, that image, I know that image, you know. So be careful what images you're putting into your junk journal. Make sure they're copyright free. If you're having trouble finding images, there are a selection of copyright free sites. One is called unsplash.com. One is Pixabay, and the other is Pexels. And they have loads and loads of stuff on them. I mean, everything I think you probably could ever need. And they are totally copyright free, so you've got no problem using them. So that's that. Just beware of copyrights. Right, so moving along. That's my lecture for the day. I've done it now. You're all right. Let's just see where we're at here. So the next bit should be this acetate window, I guess. So I've got the envelopes in my hand, so I'm going to do the envelopes next. Hi, Isabel. Good afternoon to you. Cooking breakfast, eggs over medium, grits and bacon. Can you stop it with your blinking strawberry cobbler and breakfast and stuff? It's just not right. Yes, ma'am, the copyright police are always on patrol. It pays just to be that bit cautious, and then you won't get caught out, and you know, it's just not worth it. Not worth flouting that law. Or really intellectual property law either. I'm not going to get started on that. I'm just not, okay? So here are my envelopes. They are just printed on 90 grams paper. So they're fairly thin. They don't need to be any thicker than that. They're not really taking up any great strain on them. So I want 2 that have got the green side out and 2 that have got the orange side out. And I think I might have 2-side printed these. Yeah, I'll go with that. So as I said, go to me telling you about copyright and do this and do that, but go to Google and put in paper templates or envelope templates or whatever. And I mean, there's just dozens of them. I use this because it's a fairly sort of generic shape envelope. But there's some really fancy ones on there too, if that's what takes your fancy. I've been working so hard this morning to try and get up to date with you, you know, for something for you. And I still didn't get very far with it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody left a message on my Miss Paintalot art group about the people that are having problems getting onto live chat. I think the crux of it is you need to be logged into your account. If you're logged into your account, I think you'll be all right. And if you haven't got an account, might be worth thinking about opening one. And then I'll be able to chat to you too. Right, so there's my envelopes. Just need sticking down a little bit. I know we did this last time, I remember it. But I don't think we got them on the paper.
No, we got as far as making them, but that was
it.
That was it.
Right, so they just stick down like that. For this I'm using Aileen's tacky glue. It's perfectly enough for this. And just make sure that you haven't glued the front to the back, because that's not what we want. So I think tomorrow, I might be speaking out of turn here, but I think tomorrow we have Mr. Fix-It showing you how to make a lapbook. He's been beavering away with templates and trying different things out. So I think it's going to be quite good. He's just fallen off his chair laughing, but he doesn't do lives. I mean, that's not his thing. He sets up all the computer equipment and filming equipment, and that is his thing. He's really good at that. But he is the one that makes my lapbooks and, you know, my journals and stuff. So he's the one that we need to tell us how he does it. So be prepared, same time tomorrow, Sunday, and you're going to learn how to make a lapbook. And then you really can follow along with me. Lovely, making progress here. Just one more to glue.
I have limited resources, of course, because we're on lockdown. So.
Well, that's the thing, we are on lockdown, so it is literally what you've got in the house. Although I have to say we have a lot of crafting stuff in our house. An awful lot. Mr. Fix-It's one of these type of guys, and I'm sure you will, you'll know what I'm talking about here, because it happens to us girls too, that he cannot pass anything anywhere that might be useful sometime. So we did have a storage locker full of stuff that might be, handy sometime. But we had, it was ridiculous. We were just paying rent on a storage locker just to keep stuff that might be handy sometimes. So eventually, back end of last year, we cleared the storage locker out of all the stuff that was in there. I'm just going to put this out this way so I can see, got a good view of what I'm doing. Let's just see if these envelopes are the same size. Yeah, pretty much. So as you can see, I've got them, they're in a row of 4. And the top one is, I would say, 1/2 inch from the top. So we'll go for that. And the bottom one is about 1 inch from the bottom. Right, I'm just eyeballing this at the moment. Then that goes down to about there. Let's see what happens here. That goes down to about there.
Use a slightly larger template, so it will need to be a bit
yeah,
of
it's only Marjorie. I lost my template, guys. The template that I use. When I say I've lost it, it's here somewhere. But then so is so much other stuff that I couldn't find it. So we've printed out a new one. It's pretty similar to the last one. Oh, I know what I meant to do. I meant to ink these, and I'm using this really funky ink, ordinary distress ink, but it's called Spiced Marmalade. And it is a bit on the spicy side. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I appreciate that. But it's just something different from the brown, the sepia sort of colours that we always have, which I am totally fed up with. Fed up with it. And my new, as you can see...
Donna's managed to...
Donna! You had to open the app instead of go, all right, okay. Hiya! Can't wait to see him make it. Oh, don't make him too nervous. He won't be sleeping. Right, so we don't need to do anything on the front of here. What is the front of the envelope? Because that's the bit that gets stuck down. But I am just going to fold that over and just give it a little bit of inky dink, because I like to see that. Yeah, I was going to tell you that my new things have come from AliExpress. These, my inkers, the makeup sponges, but they're brilliant for inking. And if you hear me referring to my boobies, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, you know, come on. And if you could feel the texture, it's a boobie.
Would you like an expert opinion?
No. So they've come in all sorts of colours. There were 10 of them, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. And so I'm going to try and keep them for the colours that they are. But I've got 2 turquoises and never use them. So, you know, but anyway, I think they're about £3. And as I say, there's 10 of them. So by my stupendous maths, that's 30p each. Sorry, guys, I don't know what it is in the States. And I need to ink around here as well, because that's the bit that you're going to see. Sorry if this is repetition from the last day. I really am sorry. But, you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes. But I will stay live with you until I've actually done something today. I'm wondering how long Mr. Fix-It's live's going to be tomorrow, because he's not a chatty fella. He doesn't go in for small talk much. In fact, we can go for hours in here and not say a word. Or we can be driving somewhere, well, you know, in the days when you could drive somewhere, and get there and we want to say anything to each other. And it's not, you know, because we're not talking, it's just we're not saying anything. I know you find that difficult for me, don't you? Because I am chatty, I know I am. And I bet you there's loads and loads of people that tune into our videos and think, oh, for heaven's sake, woman, give it a rest. But that's just the way I am. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen. Either you could turn me off, you know, mute me, or you could go and watch somebody else. I don't want you to go and watch somebody else. I'd be jealous. Right, excellent. 2. This seems to be taking a bit of a while. Yeah, need to do that one. So what journals are you all doing? Regina, I have seen yours. It is absolutely beautiful. If you'd like to put some pictures of it over on Miss Paintalot's art group on Facebook, I would be grateful, because everybody would love to see it. I know they would. It's so inspirational when you see somebody's beautiful work like that. In fact, all of you, you know, whatever you're doing, be it junk journaling or Donna, I know you art journal, and that art journal that you just posted was exquisite. It was exquisite. I loved it. Every page. So that's Donna Krogan. So go and have a look go and check her out. She does wonderful things. I should have inked this before I made them up. You understand that, don't you? Then it would have been a 2-minute job instead of a half-an-hour job. We don't live near an airport or anything. We live miles and miles away from an airport. But we're used to hearing aeroplanes going above us. I think we're on the way to New York. And so you just hear a faint noise and you know it's an aeroplane. And I must say, it's ever so strange at the moment, because there's nothing. We're hearing no airplanes or helicopters or anything. We do, however, live quite close to one of those sort of secret sort of RAF bases. That's the secret now, huh? Told you all about it. And we do get some traffic going there. Right, I'm nearly at the end. Hallelujah. Right, that will do. Now it's time to fit them all in. So I'm going to put this one 1/2 inch from the top, irrespective. Where's my little 6-inch ruler? Let's just check. Let's just check where 1/2 inch comes to. And then I don't want to start off on the wonk. Life's bad enough without starting off on the wonk. So I'm just going to make sure that that is 1/2 inch along there. And I'm actually going to draw a line. I'm going to sneeze in a minute, just be warned. Maybe not. So that...
Would you measure it on with trains?
Oh, right. Is it still carrying on? I suppose the freight is still carrying on, isn't it? Everybody still wants the shopping and everything, I guess. So if that's going there, I've got 3/8 of an inch there, and I've got 3/8 of an inch there. So that'll do me. That's good. Right, so this gets stuck down. So I'm going to go orange, green, orange, green. And this is a fairly nondescript sort of, I can get away with this, I think, on here. Yeah, Fort Benning. The only time I've ever heard anybody mention Fort Benning is in NCIS. Gibbsy and Co. They always seem to be trotting off to Fort Benning. There always seems to be a murder or something going on there. I hope that's not true. I hope you don't have as many murders in reality as they do on NCIS.
Well, that's naval, and that's an Air Force base. So
Oh,
sure
right.
you go there.
Yeah, I've heard them talk. No, maybe not. Yeah, NCIS is naval, isn't it? Well, who is it that goes to Fort Benning that we watch? It is Gibbsy. I've just got a bit too much blue glue on here, so I'm just clearing it up. Right, that's that one. So, if I put the next one down 1.5 inches from the top of that, because I need to trap this in it to shut it, you see. So if I put that at 1.5 inches, this is the workings out of a junk journal. That at 1.5 inches, right, so that's going to go there. And then another 1.5 inches. Are you jealous of my math skills? Which kind of don't exist. Then I put that one there. Then I have another 1.5 inches.
Which is worrying for a scientist, really.
Yeah, I know. Another 1.5 inches goes there. And then the bottom one, does it fit on? Oh, look at that. I was just kidding you, of course, that, you know, I didn't know how to measure. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. So I've got a peach, pink, orange, so I'm going to do green. And it's the front side that you glue down. Let's fold that in. I'm just going to wipe off that excess bit of blue there in the corner. This is going to go 1.5 inches, which I've now very nicely measured for myself.
Don't stick the flap down.
Oh yeah, don't stick the flap in. Good thinking. Nearly came a cropper there. Is that 1/2 inch in from the edge? No.
Wobbly on camera.
Needs to go in a bit. I haven't got enough hands. That's where it needs to go to. It needs to go to there. Lovely. Oh, what's going on here? The first one must have been off. Oh well, the first one was off. I think that one's right. Half an inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Well, everything measures 1/2 inch, but it obviously doesn't, so never mind. We'll carry on.
My cutting out.
We'll progress. Yeah, that's who it is. Mr. Fix-It's cutting out. At about 5 minutes to go, I said to him, could you help me, please? He just cut out these 4 envelopes. So I don't think he's done it wrong. It's not like him to do things wrong. So I'm going to go back to the... Oh. These are a bit Mickey Mouse, to be honest.
Told you it was me.
No, I don't think it's you. You're getting the gist of it anyway, and you'll get, you know, get to know what not to do. What's wrong with that? This is a lesson in what not to do. So this is our last one. Right, I've made a right pig's ear of this. A right pig's ear. Have we got anything on the back of that?
Is there something else you can do? And I'll take them off and
Yeah.
make some new envelopes.
Well, if you could, where's the template? There's the template. But I don't know if I've got any paper now. I wasn't supposed to stick all of that down. Oh dear. Who was it that said they like the happy little accidents? Well, we got them. Actually, there's no... I don't know what I'm trying to save that for, really. It's kind of done. I've made an enormous boo-boo. I must have done those stacked envelopes 10,000 times. Let's see if I can find some paper for Mr. Fix-It to make some envelopes out of. There's one sheet. And I don't think we've got any more. I think that's...
I'll cut some more. Do something else.
Let's see. These are all card. Well, we'll make the acetate window. What can we do, eh? This is what you get. You're chatting away, chat, and it's wrong. I've got one that I can save. I've got one that's salvageable. Right, okay, let's just pretend that just did not happen. Let's just pretend that, shall we? Otherwise we'll just get in a upset state of mind, which is not good. So I need another piece for this. So let's see out of my stock what I could use. I need a double-sided piece, actually. If I've got any that are double-sided, those are all single-sided. I'll just use another piece of what I had really before. And we'll just go back like it never ever even happened. So I want this to be... It's bad enough when things like that happen. When you're on your own at home. No, you didn't lose sound. It was Mr. Fix-It turned me off to say you've made a mistake. Oh dear. It's bad enough when it goes wrong on your own. But when it goes wrong and you're trying to tell somebody how to do something, it's ridiculous. But we'll get there, don't you worry. So that's the length I want it, and I want it just a little bit narrower than this one. So about there. Okay. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So I'll just chop that off. Yeah, no, the sound, Mr. Fix-It realised that what I was doing was in no way right. And was good enough to chop me off to tell me off camera. But there was no fixing it, I'm afraid. It was beyond being fixed. I would just chop my mark off. Jeez, come on, girl. Just slightly narrower than that. So to there. Right. Lovely. It's just like it never happened. Don't even think about it. I'm not thinking about it. You are. Yeah, but I'm not going to. So that's that. Let's just get rid of all the fuzz that tearing that sheet off has created. There we go. Right. So this needs scored because it goes like that. There. So I need to score it here at 1/2 inch. I must say scoring board is great. I have got an alternative method of doing this. I've got one of these that's got a scoring blade in it. So you can just hold it on your ruler and score, which is quite good. Right, now I'm just wondering before I stick this on if it would be easier to do the acetate window. That's going to go there. You just fold that along and crease it. There we are. So that's going to go there exactly, you know. You might have seen one like that earlier, you might not have done. Who knows? So that's going to be fine. Folds over, and that's where the dreaded envelopes are going to go. But on this piece here, as I'll show you on Monsieur Rabbit, this is where the acetate window goes. So I think I'll actually do the acetate window first before I attach it to the book. So it's going to go that way. So this is the bottom where the foldy bit is. And get my ruler. I need a piece of paper to go up, card or whatever, to go over it, you see, to create this frame. So this paper here is this, but then I need something quite nice to go around it for the frame. Not that I'm saying that's not nice, but it's not my favourite paper in the world. I might use a green actually. Yeah, I like that, that's nice. So I want it to be, I have made the tag already in preparation. I've actually got something done today. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Here's the ginormous tag that's going in there. So you see, green would be a better bet for us, I think, and show that marigold up better. Excellent. So I want this just a little bit in from the edge, not much. And I'm not measuring it, Margie, etc. I know that you like measurements, but it's a meaningless measurement because it's just less than the other piece. And the other piece was just less than the other piece. So I want that to come up to where that it'll be glued at the bottom, so I want it to be about there, so you can see the top part of the tag. Do you need to?
I just wondering what colour was the envelope you saved?
Green.
Green.
A green one. Right, so let's cut that out then. I did get all my papers and everything cut out this morning. And I didn't feel like I was being sort of tardy in any way. But you know, don't you guys, you know, things happen. So there, this paper comes in the CD-ROM. That looks in no way straight. Yeah, I think my paper, the edge of my paper wasn't straight, so I'll straighten it up. It's not a big deal. Boy, when things go wrong. Turns out that this page that I'm cutting is just slightly more than 5 1/4, for those who are interested. I'm just cut that up. I mean, it's that much. You wouldn't think it would make that much difference, but it does. And okay, who's hidden the mark this time? Oh, God's sake. It's like a blooming conspiracy, this, isn't it? Is it a conspiracy? Are you all just ganging up on me? Oh, there's my mark. It was there all along. Oh, let's see what nice. Regina's retracted a message. Did it say, "You are just so ridiculously bad, Fiona. I'm not watching ever again"? I hope it didn't. No, I say no, I haven't got an envelope maker. This came with some sort of this on the back. So I don't know if that's... It looks like it's got something to do with envelopes to me. But I didn't read the stuff that came with it, and I chucked it out, and now I don't know. Right, so this is going to be the frame. Let's just check once and for all that we've got it right. That goes in there, gets the middle cut out with a scalpel, gets acetate stuck on. Bob's your uncle. Blimey, O'Reilly. Do you say Bob's your uncle in the States? I say it quite a lot. It's one of my sort of favourite things to say. I'm going to do this on the back because I don't want the pencil lines on the front. And I'm going to allow 1 inch all around for my frame. So I'm literally got to draw 1 inch line all the way around. Yeah, Bob's your uncle. Still not convinced this is straight. Square. It must be my eyes. Maybe that's what's going wrong today. I haven't got my proper glasses on. Maybe that's what's going on, eh? Right, so scalpel, ruler. I always keep my scalpel in exactly the same place, and it's one of those things I really do have a rule about. Although I don't have a ruler. I do. Because I think if it's there, I'm not going to, mistakenly catch myself on it. It's sort of out of reach. So with the scalpel, follow your pencil lines from corner to corner. I'm being quiet because I'm concentrating now. Well, I'd like to say that was a happy little accident, but I don't think it was that happy. Message that was retracted. Fiona, do you all have a PO box to receive mail and stuff? We don't have a PO box. You know, just have an address for the house. But if you want my address, just message me and I'll send you my address by all means. I know some people have post office boxes, but we just have a house with a letterbox. Although at the moment it's a bit dicey, because if we get things particularly from AliExpress, which we ordered before all this hoo-ha, I'm not downgrading this hoo-ha, it's awful, but if we get them, we're always a bit sort of sceptical about opening them, you know. So Justin gets his gloves on, opens the first part of it, you know, the outside sort of envelope bit, leaves it outside for a good few hours, assuming it's not raining, of course, and then goes and gets it in the house, slathers it with microbial stuff, leaves it for a while, and then we open it. So it's become a bit of a chore actually getting stuff from AliExpress, where it used to be such a delight. And I'm not saying that just because it's from China. That I'm not. But you've got to be careful, haven't you, really? So that's our frame cut out. Can I just say at this stage, if you're being a bit more clever than what I am being, you would have made that so these were in the middle as you go down, so it was symmetrical. It would look a whole heck of a lot better, I can tell you. So I make the mistake so you don't have to. Yeah. Do you believe that? Yeah, I don't want to put my house address out on YouTube just for anybody to come across. But I'm not precious about it at all, Regina. You're very welcome to it. So I'm inking around with my spiced marmalade. Reminds me of Paddington. Do you get Paddington Bear? Do you know about Paddington Bear in America? Maybe he's a peculiarly English bear.
From Peru.
Yeah, he comes from Peru, so he's not that English, but he does turn into a bit of an English, doesn't he? Goes quite English gent on us. But he always carries, the crux of the thing, what I'm trying to tell you is, he always carries a spare marmalade, emergency marmalade sandwich inside his hat. So he's kind of my sort of guy, really. Have you got any food? Well, yes, I've got the emergency marmalade sandwich inside my hat. Yeah. So there we are, that's the frame. I just need a piece of acetate now, which I haven't got, so I'll have to go on my travels and get one. That's all right, I'll get it.
Is that there?
Yeah.
It's all right, get it.
Okay, and we're back. Right, so here's the acetate. This is acetate that you can print on your printer, and I have been known very often actually to actually print on the acetate and make this piece white, so when you pull the tag out you can still see the print on the acetate, but not today because everything's too busy. So let's see where I need to cut my acetate. And you actually need, God blimey, my desk is in a right how to do. It really, really is. Okay, I can't even find a pen. So I'm going to cut it to there. Does that mark? No, just a heck. Of course it doesn't. There is a pen on here. There is. I've got it. I found it. I'll go for this Sharpie. That'll work. Sharpies always work. So I'll cut it to there and sort of there to there. Right. So that's my rough measurement of where I need to be. Yeah, guys, were you watching the one that I did about sewing? You know, using your sewing machine, blah, blah. Because on that, I showed you a pen that's quite magic for making marks and stuff disappear. Let me just cut out this acetate and I'll show you it again. So there you are. There's a good half a page there of acetate. Don't throw it out. It's quite expensive stuff, really, relatively speaking. The reason that I wanted to mark this acetate is because I can't see it against my board, so I don't really know where I'm going, so I have to measure it out. Frame. I always put this is because it's printable. It's got like two distinct sides to it. One is grippy, which is the side you print on, the ink stays on it, and the other is very shiny, and I always like to have the shiny side out. I think it looks more like a window. Now, if I can find a Frixion, yeah, okay, this is a Frixion. So let me just amaze y'all. Do you like that? Do you like that, Regina? Y'all. I do love that accent. It's just so great. Right, so you saw me just make that mark there. And I'll get my heat gun at great personal expense, and look at that. It's jolly well disappeared. It's gone. Brilliant, isn't it? So if you didn't catch it, the name of the pens, they come in all sorts of colours and fluorescents and everything. They're called Frixion, Frixion. You can get them bullet tipped. This one's a clicker. You can get all sorts, and they all work really well in exactly the same way. Made by Pilot, Mr. Fixit tells me. Right, so I'm going to stick that on with some double-sided tape. Oh, come on, for God's sake. It's just beyond a joke. All right, where are you? I can't believe it's here, because here's where I had my paper. I'm getting ever so slightly cheesed off with this now. That's some, well, it's big, but I've got some, here it is, that's smaller. Right, so let's put some of this down. Let's put it quite close to the frame, and then the acetate will stick nicely to it. Marvellous. Right, so let's just burnish that down properly. Make sure it's really well stuck before we take the paper off. it's always worth doing that with double-sided. And if it's somewhere where you really are precious, you know, about it, and you need a bit extra, add some glue to your double-sided as well. There's nothing stopping you doing that. It's a good tip. I thought we were going to get this finished today, this little booklet.
Well, we might do yet.
In Whose Dream? So there, that's that off. That's the shiny side down. Press that down well, and picked up my scalpel to burnish. That's really useful. Just burnish that down. Acetate is notoriously difficult to get anything to stick to. That double-sided seems to work fine, but as I say, you might want to put some extra glue on with it. That's our dead one. I think that could probably go out. I don't need to be reminded. So that's going to go on there, like that, as a pocket. Don't forget to leave the top open. Mood I'm in today. Anything could happen. So I'm going to put double-sided and a little bit of glue on that because it's a pocket. So, you know, people will be moving things in and out of it. So I'm going to put my double-sided on first. Let me just check which is the top. Oh, we don't have a top, they're all the same. So I just need to leave one end open. Put that down the edge. Hi Paula! Oh, you missed one of my epic moments today. Where everything that I had done up until that point was rubbish. But we've overcome it, I think. Although I'm a bit loath to say that in case it all goes wrong, but you never know. We're doing all right. Right, so I'm going to once again burnish this down, get a good hold on that. And I'm going to pick it up and put some glue on there as well. Just a bit of Aleene's will do the trick. Just a supplemental sort of, well, supplemental glue. Not sort of anything really. Okay. Right, so this goes down towards that crease, but not actually right up to it. Allow yourself a couple of mils for the crease to be able to crease, if you follow my drift. Lovely. Lovely. Finally, something's decided to work properly. That side is open, isn't it? Yeah. The way things are going today, that would have been so typical, wouldn't it? That I'd have put the glued side at the top. But no, we're all right. So there we are. So here is the tag that I made earlier, which will go into there. He's rather a large one, but fits great. That's lovely. And it does come to the shoulders of that tag, which is where we were aiming for. So I'm just going to take it out until that dries. Won't be long. I just don't want to put any extra pressure on it until it's really, really dry. Right, so the next thing that we do is the envelopes. Where's the one that I had? This one. Oh, look at this. My goodness me. That's brilliant. They've just appeared. and one to come, yeah. So I'm just going to take my bone folder, crease them nicely. They're even inked, for heaven's sake. I mean, what's going on? Hope he's not expecting this tomorrow when he's on live. If it goes wrong, you're on your own.
I'm just grateful you set the bar so low.
It's just mean. It's really, really mean. He's not a mean person. Right, let's get my little 6-inch square ruler. Let's do this properly, because last time they were on the wonk from the very start, weren't they? So I'm not having that again. Right, so that's 1/2 inch. It's definitely 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to make a line there. That's where the top one wants to go. And let's just see what it measures. It measures 5 3/8. Well, that's a convenient little measurement, isn't it? Not. So 1/2 of 5 is 2.5, and 1/2 of 3/8 is 1.5. So that's, what's 1/2 of 5 3/8, please? Oh, so useless. It doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter. I've worked out a better way of doing it. If I put that there, that's
2 11/16.
Yeah, I haven't got a ruler that measures that. See, that there is just about 3/8, and that there is 1, 2, about 3/8. 1, 2. Oh no, it's just a bit more. So there, that's where it wants to go. Well, I don't know if it wants to, but that's where it's going. All right. That is definitely where it's going. Okay, so what you do is not what I did the last time. You don't do that at all. I'm just going to have my ink back, please.
Yeah.
I have I? Oh, yeah.
The secret is to measure it and then put it on by eye.
I know, but my eye doesn't work like that. My eyes don't work like that. Some people can, you know, they just do it and it's right. Mine aren't like that. Right, so that's going to go there, and it's going to go, we've got the 1/2 inch line there. So, right, that's going to be perfect. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, and it is. So what we do is we put glue just down the edges. I was looking at Mr. Fix-It, just in case I've got this wrong. It just goes down the edges, doesn't it?
And the bottom.
And the bottom.
To stop your tags going all the way through.
Where's Peter? Let's have a good look at Peter Rabbit here. See what the story is, eh? I think it's the first time I've done this, but it's not. Right, so that's there. That gets tucked in. That's paper. Can I get past that bottom? Can I get past that bottom? No, right. So it's just the 3 sides, as Mr. Fix-It said. Why would I doubt him? Who knows? So glue on 3 sides, not the flap. You're doing it on what would be the envelope front. The part where you would put your address. So it's just a bead of glue each edge. This is a really nice thing, I think, this stacking envelopes thing. I can't claim that it's my idea. As I said to you last time, it's a lady called G. Kerr, and her page is called Happiness in Crafting.
Somebody mentioned they did it years ago somewhere.
Oh, well, maybe it's not G's idea, I don't know. But it was G that I saw doing it, so.
Debbie.
Debbie's been doing it for years.
She said she did it a few years ago in a journal.
Oh,
She'd
right.
forgotten about it until she found it yesterday.
Oh, right. It is effective. It's a really nice thing, I think, these sort of waterfall envelopes. Does that look straight? Not bad, I wouldn't say. Yikes. Okay, right. So it's open at the behind here like a pocket, and the flap is open as well. So now it's time for a green one. Same malarkey, around 3 edges. Oh, I haven't measured where this goes. It goes 1.5 inches down, doesn't it? Didn't we say?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's 1.5 inches from where it's folded. I can't work out where it goes now. It goes there. Okay. 1.5 inches from the top of that one. I guess you lot are all shouting at me going, yes, for God's sake. For heaven's sake, just stick it on.
Don't you get the flap? Oh, it doesn't matter in this case, does it?
Right, let's just put that on and make sure that it looks square. Right, bit of pressure. Pressure. Talking about pressure. And this one, just crease it up. Well, I guess if nothing else today, you've had a bit of a laugh. It's been hysterical for all the wrong reasons. But the acetate window went quite well, I thought. I'm quite surprised at it. It went okay. Now it's going to go around here. Are all of you managing to get all your groceries all right when you go to the shops? Mr. Fixit went yesterday. I'm not allowed to go out of the house, but Mr. Fixit went yesterday, and they were short of lots and lots of things again. So back to square one, I think, with that. And he also said he went to Aldi and he said it was like a madhouse in there. 1.5 inches from the top is there. Let's just fold that in. So it needs to go there. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Thank you. So, same situation, glue on 3 sides. Yeah, but they were seemed to be, he said there was no queue or anything, they were just letting everybody in as they wanted to. And it seemed like everybody was just buying hordes of, same as it was right at the beginning. So, that's not so good. So that needs to go there. Let's just check it out before we stick it down. Yeah, okay. Bit of pressure. Oh, we're not doing quite so bad now. Time to calm down. And the fourth one is this one. No, it's all right. It'll be fine. No, it's fine. It's up to you what colours you use. Just make them to go with your colour scheme, quite obviously. As I say, I'm a bit stymied with this Flower Fairies kit because there's really not very many. I don't have many options with it. So 1.5 inches from there is there. Round 3 sides. See, when you see it done like this, you think, well, how could you get it so wrong? That's what I think. How could I have got it so wrong? But I did. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, so never mind. Right, let's just have a check by eye. Yeah. Right, if you're doing this at home, take your time, right? That's all I can say to you. Because, I mean, Mr. Fix has done a fabulous job, but they're just slightly different widths. So if you're doing it at home, make sure that you fold them really, really neatly and take your time over it. It's not a race. We've got weeks, you know, probably still weeks to go in lockdown or semi-lockdown or whatever. So one thing we're not short of is time. And I don't really want to order anything from Amazon or whatever, because I know they're very busy delivering, you know, important stuff. Right, so what we do now is we need to get the paper that goes into these. And I'll just show you on Peter what I'm talking about. So we've got a pocket behind, so we've got paper in there. And we've got that flaps open and we've got paper in the envelope as well. So they just stay shut on the envelope beneath them, and that goes into that pocket there. So it's all very, very neat and tidy. Let's just see where I cut that off at. Yeah. So it's about there and it's about there. I'll pop that back in, otherwise it'll get lost. No, sorry. I think my cutter, I've got a new blade in it, so I think it'll go through without too many problems. It's not, this doesn't have to be exact, this is about this size. I'm going to keep those because if you were doing decoupage, they're just the job, aren't they? So they aren't going in my bin. Make sure you've got them fairly squared up. Hooray. There we are. Right, so let's put that little pin back in the glue. Right, so I think I've allocated 2 sheets for each business, each job. So I'm just folding it over, and
I know toilet paper's Russian, but 2 sheets is a bit mean.
So each envelope gets 2 sheets. I don't actually know, it doesn't feel like I've got enough paper here, but I'll have enough to show you anyway. So that's good journaling space for whoever. No, I haven't got enough, so I'm just going to use one. Just going to use one. I've rationed you from 2 to 1. I would say put 2 in each envelope. You know, give people space to get journaling. Because it's too easy to put all the fluffy frilly stuff, and you don't leave people space to actually do what they're supposed to be doing, which is recording and writing. So I've got 2 in there, so I'm just going to nick one of those. Right, so then what happens is you tuck your top of your envelope into the back of the envelope down below it. Don't try and tuck it into the envelope tuck, because that won't work. You need to tuck it into the back of the envelope. And then you put your paper in the pocket that you created with the actual envelope, like so. That was where I went wrong the first time. I glued the entire envelope down, so I had no space whatsoever to put that into. And then just slide that in. And again, I'm 1 sheet short, for heaven's sake. That's a bit of a pain. I'm going to go back and add another sheet to these, actually, because, you know, like I say, one's just a bit on the tight side, isn't it? I would say so anyway. Sorry? Right, so this is our last sort of journaling part. So that gets tucked into there, same as the others. And it's beginning to look really nice now, I think, with all this journaling in it. Now, that's lovely, isn't it? It's really grand and dandy, but how on earth do you keep this down? Secret squirrel business. You take a piece of card of anything that takes your fancy. I'm going to use green because this one here is orange. Is that wide enough? Is it? Is this wide enough? Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. So I just need to cut off, I don't know, a thick 1/2 inch. I'll say a thick 1/2 inch. So there's my 1/2 inch measurement, and I'm moving it just across a little bit. It's not another 1/8 or anything like that. It's just, as I say, it's a thick 1/2 inch. There we go. And that goes there, so as this can get tucked into this kind of belly band that we've just made. So I'm just going to ink that up. How are we doing? Oh, we're not doing so badly for time.
No, plenty of time.
I thought we'd been on hours. Feels like it. So this is how come your hands end up blinking orange or brown or whatever. So I'm just going to put a spot of glue. Actually, I'm going to put a spot of double-sided and then a spot of glue, because this does get, you know, a bit of use. So just right on the ends, and another bit there, just right on the end. Mr. Fix-It's standing watching me, which is slightly worrying. He's usually looking at the camera or something. Right, so I'll just pick up, just burnish them. It's always worth burnishing them, even if it's a pain, which it is. Pick up your the backing. Be careful with scalpels. I know we get familiar with them, we use them a lot, but you know, they're very, very sharp things, so don't lose sight of that, please. Because it would make it so much more difficult if you lost a finger to junk journal. It really would. Right, there we are then. So what we'll do is hold that down and we'll put that where we think it should go, which is there. Okay, so I just want that to stay there for a little while it dries. So I'm just going to put a clothes peg or a clothespin, as they say on t'other side of pond. Let's put that there just while it dries. It won't be very long. Right, hallelujah, we've got the envelopes done. Hope you think it was worth it. Using a Tim Holtz die to cut my little envied. What does that say? I am out in my studio working on a similar page for my Lapbook. Yay! Great, Debbie.
Got her envelopes.
Oh, your envelopes, yes. Ah, a die. Yeah, that would be the way. I am healthiest in family around here. I mask and Purell and go for it. Praying the entire time. Debbie, I've enjoyed your work this week. Well, it's been a bit.
Well, we could use the silhouette, but
Yeah.
not everybody's got one, so we try and show the manual version as it
So
were.
there's our lovely thingy window, acetate. So that can now probably get what's going in its pocket in. That's lovely. That's nice actually, I quite like that. Let's get it centralised a bit. Yeah, so that's one that I cut out with it was just a marigold background, and then I cut out a roundel of the marigold fairy and put it on there so as it looks quite nice through the acetate. These are that. Right, so where does that go on our journal? It goes this way, like that. Well, you may have seen something similar to this previously in this live. Well, then again, if you joined late, you wouldn't have done. And that comes over there. So I think the next thing to do is stick that down and then perhaps call it a day. Do you think? I think so. I've been rambling on for an hour and 20 minutes and you haven't actually learnt that much today. We know about Paddington. Oh, he's lovely, isn't he? Got to go to the city. Oh my goodness, be so careful, please. Stay safe. This has got quite a bit of sort of weight on it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue as well. I've gone super cautious all of a sudden. I don't know why, but have. So it's just a little bit of glue and the double-sided, and we should be good to go. Yeah, I can see the dye working. Yeah, I can actually. Oh, forgot to put glue on that. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, put this on tight up to that pocket. There, glue it down, and it just finishes that off quite nicely. It looks like it's finished nicely. There we go. Please don't tell me I've put the envelopes in upside down. I'll die if I have. Anyway, that's that. That's our marigold fairy with the acetate window. This, which has got the little tag on that goes in there. This, which is the big tag, and it's got a marigold on it. It looks quite nice. Lots of journaling on the back. I've actually got some, I just found out that I had some, I'd ordered them and I'd forgotten I'd ordered them. Some marigold stamps. And they're quite old, I think, by the look of them. But they're really, really pretty. And I thought that they would look quite nice. Just the odd one on the back of some of the journaling cards and tags, etc. So I'm just going to use the same distress ink that I've been using for edging it. I'm just going to give it a try. See what happens. Oh, that's lovely. That's really, really nice. I like that a lot. It's come out really well. So when I've finished putting everything in and tarting around and got it all finished, I'll come and show you on Wednesday what it looks like, what the stamps look like, where we're up to, and definitely Marigold will be finished. because she has taken up too much of my life already. And we'll be moving on to a new flower fairy. I don't know which one, but it'll be, you know, or maybe Peter Rabbit. Actually, we'll be doing, yeah, we'll do a Peter Rabbit one on Wednesday. Tomorrow at 2, don't forget, Mr. Fix-It is going to be showing you how to build a lapbook like this one. This is the one he built for the flower fairies. It's gorgeous, isn't it? So that's that. And the back. Where flowers bloom, you will find fairies. It's just really beautiful. So there we are. So if you want to learn how to make your own lapbook, tune in to this channel tomorrow, 2 o'clock, where it won't be me for a change rabbiting on. It will be Mr. Fix-It. So I'll see you, hopefully see you then. Thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for watching. I know it's been a really strange one today, but we all get days like that. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you.